All right, what is up, everybody? Thank you for being here. Welcome to another episode of the Raw Intuition Health Show. Always great to see you guys on every Sunday. It's an honor to spend this time with you. And today we have another incredible guest, one that I've been wanting to have on the show for a long time, and we finally got him. His name is Kuba. He goes by Raw Kuba online. Kuba is a financial freedom coach who helps entrepreneurs leave their 9 to 5 and make a full-time living off of their laptops while traveling the world. Kuba has been living a fruit-based lifestyle for many years and has transformed his life and his health in the process. And so we're going to ask him a little bit about that as well. But today we're going to be discussing 6 ways to add more value to your life and increase the level of success and fulfillment that you experience in your life. So we all have innate value, as you guys know, regardless of what we do, we all have value, but there are ways that we can amplify the value that, we experience and that we share with others based on our decisions, thoughts, and the actions that we take. And so I'm going to talk to Kuba about that. I know he's very well versed and very knowledgeable in this field. So let's bring Kuba on to the show. What is up, Kuba?
What's up, Matt? Thank you for having me. I'm honored to
Yes,
be here, and I'm excited for the topic because I'm all about bringing more value to our lives because life is beautiful, and why not make it as better and as good as you can?
absolutely. Yeah. And that's why I wanted you to be on the show today with this topic, because I'm always inspired by what you're putting out there, and I love that you are focused on adding value to others and to yourself. So thank you for everything that you're putting out there. And would you be able to just start us off, as we do with most shows, if you could just share a little bit about your health journey and kind of how you got to where you are today and doing what you're doing.
Okay, I'll try to keep it brief because it could be a long story because this has been a journey of 10 years.
Nice.
um, Definitely check out the replay of the game show when me and Jamie came on
Yes.
your game show because I went into my story there too.
Hmm.
But it all started, as you may see here in the corner. I got my pops, a picture of my dad, a memory. Passed away 10 years ago, and he got sick with stomach and esophagus cancer at that time. And I just started to realize like we have no idea what's happening with our own bodies, what happens with the food we eat, like what food we eat, what reactions different foods have. And I started reading this book called The Crazy Sexy Diet by Chris Carr, and I started learning about an alkaline diet versus a standard acidic diet. So basically, I just started eating more fruits and vegetables, whole foods, less dairy, less meat, less processed foods. And it was a process over time. And then just getting passionate about that, researching, seeing my dad basically helpless to the system pass away in front of my eyes. And the saddest moment triggered something in me, like a transformation in me. Like I took it, I'm like, I got to do something with this. I started learning about the body. I started changing my diet and feeling different. And it wasn't long before I learned about raw foods, and not just raw fruits, but fruits and vegetables. Even if you don't call it raw, it's like fruits and vegetables we're always told to eat growing up, like it's a healthy food. And now here I realize there's people living off fruits and vegetables, primarily fruits and vegetables. And it made a lot of sense to me. It clicked. It was Kevin Cosmo from High Energy Parenting who said that in a video of his transformation. And that just like clicked. So I started getting into it, and it was a journey. So 10 years, if I could summarize, it's been like a up and down roller coaster. I did lots of cleansing, and then I realized I thought cleansing was like the answer. You just gotta cleanse and eventually you'll be perfect. And then I realized that's not the answer because you gotta nourish your body too. So then I started balancing more cleansing and nourishing, and now I'm more in like a building phase, working out and working on being an example of someone who's living primarily off fruits and vegetables, but being healthy and fit because there's so much what's the word, like not truths out there, myths out there, and people think there's actually people going back to meat all the time, and giving up on the lifestyle because they think you need to eat animal products to get gains and to be strong and to be healthy and to have energy and all these things. So it's not true. So that's where I'm at now. You know I work with Ted Carr. I'm close to Ted Carr. We have Contemporepreneurs, our community where we help people launch their online business. So that all happened because I went to the Woodstock Fruit Festival. I met Ted there, met like-minded people. I met Jeanette, Mr. Vegan there. We're accountability partners. So like this fruit and vegetable lifestyle led me to entrepreneurship too, and meeting my tribe in that world. And here I am, like collaborating with you and other entrepreneurs. Like a lot of us in the community are entrepreneurs. So I'm very passionate about entrepreneurship these days. So that's where I'm at now. So we actually help a lot of health coaches launch their online businesses. So
Oh, that's awesome. Definitely something that's that there's a need for. So I'm glad that you guys are out there doing that, helping people have more success, and like we said, adding value. Giving more value to people and just sharing information that can change people's lives. Yeah, it's really cool. Judith says, which book was it from? Was it Chris Carr?
is it Judith with a T at the end? No H?
No, yeah, Judith. Judith.
With a H.
Yeah, with an H.
Okay, I was wondering if it was Judith that I know.
Mm.
But Chris Carr, it's called in short, it's called the Crazy Sexy Diet. If you search that, you'll find it. Chris Carr with in cars with a K. But in any case, Crazy Sexy Diet, you'll find it. But it's really the crazy, sexy, eat your greens, ignite your spark, and live like you mean it diet. Something like that.
Nice.
It's geared towards women, but it applies to all humans. Like the science is science,
Yep.
But obviously it's a little bit geared more towards women.
Nice. So one of your first inspirations was Chris Carr, and now one
Who
of
had
your
12 tumors and was told that she's not going to survive, and then she survived by changing her diet and lifestyle. Just to
Wow.
give context of who Chris Carr is.
Yeah. And now you've partnered with Ted Carr, so you have some
her cousin.
her cousin. Yeah. Nice. That's very cool.
That's funny.
Yep. All right. Thanks for the question, Judith. So yeah, thank you, Kuba, for sharing that story. Very sorry to hear about your father, but you've certainly, gotten onto a good path, and that's there's always blessings in everything. So thank you for doing the work and for taking charge of your life. So yeah, let's get into the topic discussion. So as with every show, you guys, also at the end we're gonna do a Q&A, and every Q&A session, somebody that asks a question, we offer a free gift. I always give away one of my ebooks, so you can choose whichever one you want out of 5-Star Digestion, Salad Revolution, or 21-Day Raw Transformation Program. Just send me an email at matt@myrawintuition.com if you're selected as the winner, and I'll get you whatever ebook you would like. And then Kuba is also offering a free a gift as a prize to somebody. Kuba, do you want to just share what that might be?
Yeah, so it will also depend on what you want. I have a few options. So I actually have some cleanse guides, like short cleanses. I promote doing a short cleanse with the rebuilding period. So I have a few cleanse guides like that, but I also have guides for launching your online business. So I actually have this cool guide for, actually, no, it's not even for launching your online business. It's making money while traveling. Even if you don't have a business, it's just a way to start, just like how I did. I came to Mallorca teaching English. So it's just like a way to travel, even if you don't have money, by making money like at the place you want to travel, basically. So I have an ebook about that.
Nice. Very nice. Cool. All right. Well, thank you for offering that. It's very generous, and that will definitely bring some value to whoever wins. So thank you very much. All right, guys. So we're going to get into just the topic discussion now. So again, adding more value to your life, right? So I think there's kind of an epidemic right now of low quality products and mindsets and just standards, that we've all kind of probably experienced over the last, who knows how long, but it just seems like, just thinking back, just as a random example, like a refrigerator used to last like 100 years, right? And then they came up with what is it? Programmed destruction or something like that. Now, like a fridge will last like
Um,
15
Planned
years.
obsolescence.
What's that?
Planned obsolescence.
Yeah, that's what it is. Right. So they create them in a way that they know it's gonna kind of crap out after
So you have to
like
buy a
10
new
years.
one.
Yep. So you have to buy a
Yeah,
new
that's
one.
messed up.
Yeah.
And then
So
stuff from like my parents' generation, like
yeah,
some of it is probably still good till today. Like
exactly.
a sewing machine or something, you know?
Yep. Yep. For sure. So yeah, so it's kind of, in business, it's kind of gone that way where just the quality has kind of gone down. The value of what we buy has gone down a little bit. There's still good stuff out there, of course, but overall, I think we can increase the value of not only the things that we purchase, but also in our mindsets and in our actions and our standards and our environments. And so that's hopefully some inspiration we can impart on you all here today, and that's what we're going to talk about. So we'll start with Kuba with his first point or suggestion.
Yeah, so my suggestions are pretty simple. I'm a simple man, but I think simplicity can bring a lot of value to your life and
Yeah.
not overcomplicate things. So the first thing I want to say, I know we talked about certain topics, like areas of your life, I guess. The first one I will say to bring value. So if we could talk about business, relationships, or self-worth. Let's start with self-worth. Um, I think going to the gym or having an exercise routine, moving the body, is super, super huge and super, super important, especially as we age. I'm 37, and I think, yeah, there's healthy people my age, but there's also a lot of people who let themselves go after 30 and don't continue to exercise, can't keep up with their kids. I myself don't have a kid, but I have nieces and nephews, and I can keep up with them, and I like that feeling. So I think it's very important to have that self worth of your like for yourself, for your life. When you exercise and move your body, you just feel so much better. You look better when you're taking care of yourself, especially going to the gym. I guess as a man, I could say going to the gym, getting muscles feels really good. And then you just like feel better about your life and you have more confidence in life. And I think it just makes life a lot better in all ways. Like, the feeling after an exercise when you just feel like so energetic and so pumped. Whereas before, maybe you felt down or something and you feel in a rut, like you can't get out, but you just move your body and then all of a sudden you change your whole mood.
Yeah.
So I think that's huge. And I wonder what you think about that, Matt.
Yes, I agree. The endorphins are certainly something that can take you out of a poor mood. And, personally, I have been I've never been like a gym guy, even though, sometimes I wish I was, but I've always been like an
I just started recently, so you can always
okay.
become a
Yeah.
gym bro.
Yeah. I've dabbled with it here or there, but usually I just do at home workouts. Growing up, we had a Bowflex at our house, and so the Bowflex it was it was a
How does
great
that work
machine.
again? I just remember the commercial.
Yeah, it's got like the like flexi bars, and you got the ropes, and so it just uses the um it's I don't even know how to describe it, but it's just like bendy resistance bands kind of a workout machine. And I
Okay,
mean,
okay.
yeah, it was nice. It was nice. But yeah, so the Bowflex, and then also just mostly like push-ups and pull-ups, and I've got a few dumbbells that I've used, and so that's like I try to do a lot of, and I've done that consistently since high school at least. And so just doing push-ups
Nice.
most mornings and pull-ups when I can. So um, working out and exercising and just physical activity has always been an important thing for me. Um, and over the years, I've seen how that has not only improved my confidence, but it improves just my the like several areas of my life. Like it teaches all exercise, but even running. I always talk about running, so I got into running as well. And running especially taught me about persistence and kind of like separating yourself from your thoughts and just like being able to push through adversity and wanting to quit or not wanting to do something, because do you run at all, Kuba?
Yeah, I'm actually, well, like I grew up as a runner.
Oh,
I don't
nice.
run so hardcore these days, but I used to race cross country in college.
Oh, cool, cool.
So like 8, 10 Ks in the woods,
Very
nature.
cool. Nice.
And
That's
it's
awesome.
exactly what you're talking about. And you're like triggering like this pain emotion.
Oh, yeah.
But then when you get through it, you feel so satisfied.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know if it's the same for you, but for me, like the first five, like first of all, going running, like just even starting is like the biggest hurdle for me. And then like the first like 5 minutes or so, I'm kind of like, ah, gosh, I should turn back or something. But if you push through that and you get past that like first few minutes, then it's like, oh, this is really nice. And then like, there's different points throughout the run where you're like I'll just walk, but if you keep pushing through it and then you get to another level, like you just break through that barrier and you see that, okay, wow, I've been consistently running this whole time, and even though there's been times that I wanted to give up or wanted to like slow down and walk, I pushed through it and now I'm good. So you know, there's just been so many like revelations through exercise and running specifically that have taught me how to be persistent and stick with my goals in business and other areas of my life.
This is a good reminder, actually. You're making me think of like that discipline I had in my running days. If
Yeah.
I put that into business and all other areas of life, it's exactly what you're saying. It's like starting and then just continuing through the first parts that are maybe uncomfortable, maybe sporadic, maybe like you don't see results. But once you get through it and you keep going, then you get into what we call in running like the zone. You get
Yeah.
into the zone and then you just like really focus and you're in that momentum and it's just carrying you and then it just feels so much smoother.
Yes. Yeah, the zone.
Yeah, the
It's
zone.
Yep. I love that. And yeah, so that's a great first place to start with this conversation because again, like the physical activity, as you alluded to, like it builds your confidence and it also builds your connections with others. I've noticed, like especially if you're doing like if you're working out with friends, you kind of build relationships with people uh, in these activities, right? So working out or playing basketball or football or whatever other sports, it helps
That's true
you.
too.
Yeah, it helps you with that connection with other people and building relationships and being part of a team or helping pushing somebody else to improve or to reach a goal. So yeah, I think adding exercise and physical activity and playing games and sports with people can truly add value to so many people around you, but also to yourself in so many different aspects of your life.
Yeah, you reminded me in my running days, it was like a co-ed sport, so like guys and girls. And we used to run first, the guys, and then the girls would run after. And it was really cool because while the guys are running, the girls would be on the sideline like cheering us on, and then vice versa.
Yeah,
So like you're saying, we're like pushing each other, and we became really close, built some connections. I actually fell in love with a girl on my team one year. We had a thing there.
nice.
But yeah, so it's a really good way to connect with people and push each other. And now at the gym, I actually hire a trainer.
Mm,
He's like, "Hey, you want to come out with me and my friends?" And his friends are like other people at the gym. So now I'm getting to know more people.
yep.
So yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's so cool. Um, let's see. So we got, yeah, what's up, everybody? Just want to give a shout out to everybody that's in the chat. So good to see you all. Judith, Jax, Tessa, Sherry, Dulce, Carl. Awesome to see all you guys here. Thanks
What's up,
for joining
everyone?
us. Yes. Let's see. So, oh, and I was gonna say, as you were talking about that, it reminded me of like also the value that exercise can add to your future life because uh, dementia and cognitive decline are some of the fastest growing health issues in the world these days. And so exercise can help to protect our brains in our later life and prevent us from
Mm,
having cognitive decline. So, it's not only about that immediate value that we get, but also that long-term investment value that, that we can give ourselves for the future by doing some of these things like exercising on a regular basis and just doing, having healthy lifestyle habits.
100%. Get
Yeah.
that blood circulating, get oxygen to all your organs,
Yep.
all these things, and like as you age, that's so important.
Definitely. Cool. All right. Anything else you want to add on the exercise point?
That's what comes to mind for now.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my first one then is going to be, and mine are pretty simple as well. I think we're very similar. I'm also 37, so I think
You're also 37.
I'm
Wow.
30. Yeah, we're aligned here
I
in
thought you're
many
like
aspects.
32, maybe. Cool.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, no,
We got a
30.
similar hairstyle.
Yeah, I know. I'm the American Kuba, the United States Kuba. All right, so yeah, my first one is,
We also get along with the same people, if you notice.
yeah, I know. It's some we had something going on here.
Yeah, man.
So my first one is to find a way. So this is to add value again. Find a way to serve generously in your life. So to be of service, I think, is a key aspect to creating more value in your life by adding value to other people's lives. Which is, the point of this show, is the point of what Kuba does. It's the point of, a lot of the people that are out here sharing information to help people. That's what we're doing, and we're trying to serve. And that's why I like to be generous and give away, my ebooks and just share as much free information as possible, because that's really where I learned how to change my life, was through other people being generous with sharing their knowledge and their wisdom on YouTube and through books and documentaries and these things. So while there are definitely times to invest money into products and services that can help you, there's also ways that we can share with others. And there's times to charge, is what I meant, as well. So there's times to charge for our services, but as much as we can help others, as generously as possible, I think is a great way, that I have found and that I've learned from others that have been successful, to add true, genuine value to your life and just give you that sense of fulfillment and satisfaction in your life that I think everybody wants, right? Everybody wants to feel good about themselves and what they're doing and feel that they're making a difference. And so I think just being generous and donating when you can to causes that you feel are important and sharing your time and your knowledge with others, I think is a great thing to do that adds value to everybody. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's a very good point and a very good reminder that sometimes I forget about. But yeah, like when I started my journey, it was thanks to the people sharing all this value, so all this valuable information, like how to eat properly, a fruit-based diet, and all these things like free on YouTube. I got to learn from and get inspired from. And if it wasn't for them sharing that, like how would I know where to start? How would I know what to do? and that transformed my life. And then it's funny because you watch these people, and at the time when you're starting, you never think you're gonna do that too. And then next thing you know, you realize how amazing like raw a raw based lifestyle is, that you start sharing with everyone too, because you want to spread that wisdom and that awareness, you know.
Yeah.
And then you start sharing that value with others like naturally. And that's why I started making videos. And it's just like I wanted to see my family be healthier, my people be healthier. And not everyone listens, but when you go online and you share, like the people who resonate with you listen and they appreciate it. And yeah, it's amazing. And then next thing you know, family catches on eventually too.
Yep.
Now my mom's like healthy and stuff. So
Nice.
yeah, but that's a good reminder, because sometimes in the online game, we can get a little lost thinking about money and thinking about results for myself, for oneself. It's like you forgot about that part of serving others and, you know, like really doing it for the people. So I'm glad you're reminding me the importance of that.
Cool. Well, happy to, and I've already seen the value that you've been putting out there for free, so that's appreciated. And yeah, I mean, it's people like Jim Rohn that you know, was one of the first that shared the importance that I came across, that was sharing the importance of you know, giving back and donating when you can, and you know, just sharing your gifts as much as you can with others to help them. And I'm the same way, because that's YouTube is basically where I learned to change my life around as well. You know, from people sharing. And then I remember I also never saw myself being online, like being you know, content creator. But I remember a video that I can't remember if it was John Kohler or Durian Ryder who it was on. They were both in the video. I don't remember whose channel it was on, but they were saying how you know, you have a responsibility essentially to share this information if it has changed your life in a positive way. And so they were encouraging people out there to start their own YouTube channels and just spread this message. And so that was one of the first things that inspired me to start a YouTube channel. And so yeah,
Cool.
it's true. I think the more that we can give without expectation, and the more that we can give without, you know, without expectation, the more we get in return as well. So it's goes both ways. The good vibes you put out will come back, and you know, as they say, it'll come back amplified. So yeah.
It's also a good feeling when you get to help someone do something for someone else, like without expectation, like you said, without benefit for yourself. You're just really helping them. It's a good feeling. Like putting a smile on someone's face feels really good for yourself as well. And it's just like it's just something nice. I really like this idea of, if I'm out with people or doing stuff with people, just having that abundance mindset and sharing with others, like the surplus. Like, you know, like if I buy something for myself, you want it as well. Like having it for everyone. And then
Yeah.
it's just like a good feeling that they're happy, like, oh, they're getting this abundance with you. And I like the same feeling when someone does it with me. So why not share that with others as well?
Yeah. 100%. And it doesn't even have to be, you know, like it can just be like giving your time, your attention, your, you know, your
Mm-hmm.
you know, being an ear for somebody to vent to, or to you know, consult with. So yeah, I mean, there's so many ways to give, you know, in your life. So yeah, it's powerful stuff.
Definitely. Is there anyone commenting in the comments?
Oh,
Your
let's see.
thoughts?
Let's see. Let's see. Bro. Uh, Bro says I'm 37 too, and I'm bald also. Whoa.
Dope.
Yeah, man.
That's
I'll
the three
tell you.
amigos right there.
Exactly. Dulce says, beautiful Sunday, guys. Beautiful Sunday, Dulce. Thanks for being here. Judith says, thank God to all who have shared. You two are amazing. Thank you, Judith. I appreciate it. You're amazing as well. Let's see. Yeah, that's kind of that's so far. That's what we've got. So guys, keep the thoughts coming in. We love reading them. So yeah. What do you want to go on to your second one?
Yeah, sure. So the second one, it's a little bit in line with the exercise, kind of, but it's I call it working on yourself,
Hmm.
and this is for I'm kind of embarrassed, but my idea here is for relationships, especially for like a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
So this is an area of my life that I've been working on lately as well. I guess I'm embarrassed because I've neglected it many years, but
Hmm.
in terms of attracting like a partner, I think the most important way to bring value to that part of your life is working on yourself and really being like so focused on your mission and your purpose and serving your gifts to the world, taking care of yourself with the gym and exercise, all these things, but also just like, taking in audiobooks that will take your life to the next level. Doing something that contributes to the world, like following your passion, like really being in your purpose and on your mission and bettering your life will attract the right people in all aspects of relationships, and especially like a partner. And knowing this, realizing this past like within this past couple of years, that I no longer have to chase any woman. It's just like a very liberating feeling when you know like the more you're focused on yourself, you'll actually be more attractive. Like you'll be attracting more women who are like, wow, this guy's like focused on his mission. He's got purpose in life. He's not just like chasing me or living for me. He's doing his own thing. And that way it's like I'll attract the right person. And when I see a woman who's also working on herself and her purpose, I'm more attracted to that too. So like we'll naturally meet when it's time to meet. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So yeah, I think that's just like an amazing thing that transformed my life. Like I used to have a scarcity mindset, thinking like, oh, I'm getting older and I didn't connect with the right girls. But now I'm like, oh, I'm getting older, but I'm getting wiser and better in my life. And like I'm not worried about women. I don't have to chase anyone. The woman that vibes with me, it'll be natural. And if a girl like expects me to chase and is like not so open, like willing to connect with me, then I don't have to waste my time. I stay focused on my mission, on my purpose, and give time to those who also like care about me the same.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. No need to be embarrassed about that. That is an important point to make. And I totally 100% agree. Not needing. I feel like sometimes it feels to people like, and I've been in the situation as well, where like you kind of feel like you need somebody to complete you or like to save you almost. And when you work on yourself and you realize that when you become the person that you know that you are, like when you learn how to express your authentic self and as you said, sharing your gifts and the value, you that's the most attractive thing in a person, is that confidence, that knowing who they are, and following their passions. And yeah, that attracts the people to you when you do that. And yeah, as you said, the partner will arrive when the time is right. And I experienced the exact same thing. So yeah.
Yeah, and you authentically attract the authentic people as opposed to thinking you have to like put up some front or be a certain way and not being real because you're hiding yourself because you don't want the girl to not like you or whatever,
Right.
or the person. And but if you're just yourself and you're not worried about that, then you'll attract people who like you for your authentic self, and then the relationship's more genuine and it's more real.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the things growing up that always bothered me, was like when either guys or girls like head games when they play head games, because they like think they have to, play hard to get, or they have to like, there's all these things people do to like mess with people's heads in relationships. And so that was just always something that like early on it was like just a huge like issue for me where I was just like I don't want to do that, and it's like you don't have to do that. I used to think you kind of had to do that, but then I realized that you don't have to. If you just be authentic and like you just as Jim Rohn says, work harder on yourself than you do on your job, but also work harder on yourself
Mm-hmm.
than you do on even attracting somebody else. Just focus on becoming who you want to be, right? And yeah, that's I think that's an important thing just to be aware of for everybody, because it's easy today, especially with social media, to want to appear as somebody that maybe isn't authentic to who you are, and people are trying to get views and things. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just a reminder for people out there that the more authentic that you are, the better chances you are that you're going to attract a quality relationship, because we can be fake, and we can be we can put on different masks to look a certain way, but uh, if you do that, you're not necessarily going to attract the right person, right? It's going to be, because then when you when you take off that mask, or you show who you truly are, then maybe the connection isn't going to be the same. So I think the best way to
exactly.
to do it is just to be upfront and just be yourself.
Yep. Yeah, and this is a good point. Like you're mentioning on social media and stuff too. Like that's kind of a whole another discussion maybe, but being authentic in general, not just for attracting like a romantic partner, but yeah, you attract the right people in all areas. And I think on social media, for myself, one of my goals is to be more authentic, because I think when I made a video about this recently. When I started wearing the business cap, it made me a little more like, oh, I gotta be like this um, business professional vibe. And then I felt like I kind of got lost in a little bit of those videos of like, oh, this is the value you need, like this is how you need to structure your business. And I wasn't really just being myself. So April, I kind of let go a bit. I posted less, but I've just been like resetting my life, you could say.
Hmm.
And I really have this goal of this desire of just being myself more. Because everyone who knows me in real life, like, I vibes with me a lot. Because I'm a pretty cool dude, not to be tooting my own horn, but I'm funny and like all this stuff. But like, I haven't been showing that on social media. So one of my goals on social media is to just show that side of me, like that real side of me.
Yeah.
And I know I'll attract the right people, the right followers, the right connections, and everything.
Yep. I agree. And that's just another thing. I'm the exact same way. Like that's been one of the most challenging things, is to relax and just let myself be myself, on social media. Because yeah, you do. You always want to put on like a professional or like a business, kind of energy. So yeah, just being yourself. I agree with you. That's the best way to go.
And I really think that, I don't know if I should call it a trend, but like being yourself, I don't think it's a trend. It's like, it's just getting more popular. Like people want to see the real you online. People want to connect with someone that relates to them.
Yep.
Like you're a real fucking human doing life, doing your mistakes, doing not things perfectly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is why a lot of people that share more of their personal lives online gain, a pretty good following. Um, so yeah, I think people are looking for connection these days, especially the post COVID era where everybody's online, everybody's like more isolated, and like not connecting as much as they maybe used to. So there's just more, wanting some of that more genuine connection than what maybe has been out there previously.
Mhm. Yep.
Right on.
So how about you? What's your second? We're at the second point, I guess.
Yeah. So my second one is to invest in yourself. Right. So it's kind of similar to yours.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So investing in yourself, I think, is something that a lot of people neglect. It's some people are much better. A lot of people are much better at, um, you know, doing things and prioritizing other people versus themselves. And while it's great, as we've been talking about, to help others and to be there for others and keep your word with others, but it's also important to keep your word to yourself, to invest in yourself, to value yourself, because it's kind of like the on airplanes where they say put the mask on yourself first and then help others. There's truth to that, where if you neglect yourself and investing in yourself, whether that be, your education, if you're getting into the raw vegan thing, your kitchen equipment, just health in general, if you're neglecting your sleep, spending time alone is also important, I think, to really kind of drown out some of the external noise and just reconnect with yourself and determine what the best next move is for you and that sort of thing. So I think investing in yourself is one of the key things, and for me, that's really how I got to where I am today. And so I remember back in 2014, I think it was, when even before that, I guess I could, I invested. So when I knew that the raw vegan lifestyle was going to be, the foundation of what I wanted my, life to be around, because it felt so in alignment with truth, and it just, obviously helped me overcome many health conditions and, just change my entire mindset of who I felt that I was, and just what I saw for myself and what I saw for others. Um, investing in the Vitamix, investing in, back then a dehydrator, right? Like I could have made this lifestyle work without those things, but investing in the Vitamix, especially, a juicer, those things really
For
helped
me, it was
me.
the Green Star Elite.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, I just went with the Omega. The Omega 8006 was my.
I
I'm
saw
still.
John Kohler compare the Omega and the
Yep.
Green Star, and it's like the Green Star won in every aspect just by little.
Yeah, yeah. I saw that one too. So yeah, I mean, making the investment in something, even though it might have, a larger price to it than some of the cheaper models out there. It can, like, I've been on the same Vitamix for over a decade now, and I use it multiple times a
Nice.
day. And so it just, if you can set yourself up with tools that are going to make your progression and your success more likely, and the path easier for yourself, I think it's so important to do that, because you can look at, oh well, and of course everybody's going to be different with like their financial situation, and so you got to be smart about it, but also don't feel that you can never invest in yourself because of, like, the money thing, even though, it's understandable because everybody's got to pay their bills and get by. But if you can find a way to save up for one of these things, like a Vitamix or whatever, like, and also I think personally, a water distiller is something that I invested in as well, that I would not, go back on ever, because it's been so great. Especially the more I learn about the contaminants in the water, and in our environment, I just think that was a big investment for myself, that has paid off very well. But also just my education, going down to Dr. Morse's level 2 certification course in Florida back in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
I also took a 3-week raw food chef certification course in Atlanta at the Graf Academy of Raw Food Education. back
Right.
in, I think, 2013 or 2014 as well. And so, uh, I mean, taking 3 weeks off of work in 2014, that was not easy to do, but I knew that that was something that I wanted to invest in for my future. And I just knew it was something I had to do. So I made it work. You know, I found the way to get 3 weeks off of work, went down, had an amazing time, one of the best times of my life, and learned a lot. And it gave me the confidence to continue on this path. And so, yeah, just being sure that you're investing in yourself where possible, and just don't neglect the power of, you know, really giving yourself that gift of, you know, the tools that you need to reach the success that you want into the future.
Yeah, I 100% agree because, like you said, that could shortcut a lot of the process. It could just get you to your desired result much quicker, reach your goals much quicker just by investing. Uh, and you mentioned a lot of tools. You mentioned programs or certification trainings that you've done,
Yep.
which I've done as well. I've done Dr. Morse 1 and 2 as well.
Cool.
Um, but also like online courses and stuff. Like this year, I've invested in online coaching to better my life. I spent some money on that.
Yeah.
I invested in RTT therapy, so rapid transformational therapy, popularized by Marissa Peer,
Wow.
and that's like just to go deeper on self work again. So like I'm so big on investing in myself, like paying the money to do stuff that will better my life.
Yeah.
Like I think it's just super important, just to improve your life by instead of living a mediocre life just to save some money. Like think about how much we spend regularly on modern life, like going to restaurants, going to movies, going to whatever. Like skip a few of those, you got a nice blender, or you got a nice juicer, or you got some program you wanted to do for the longest time. Just like there's ways to make it work.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you mentioned the money thing. I know it's important because I maybe sometimes freely spend too much, and I'm like, oh shoot, I spent too much last month. I gotta like take it down a notch because I love investing in myself.
Yeah.
But there's ways if you really want to do something, like the universe will help you do it too. So if you put that energy in it, like even if you don't have money right now, the universe will either bring you the money or bring you a way to get it with less money or without the money, like it'll happen. So you really have to know like what are the things you want to invest in, and the universe will help you make it happen if you put your heart in it. Because Dr. Morris level 2, the dates were coming. I was like, shoot, I don't think I can afford this. This was back in 2018 around. But I was just like, you know what? Like until it happens, like I'm gonna put all my energy to going. Like I'm going, I'm gonna make it happen. Because until the date passes and then it's too late, then I could be like, all right, I couldn't make it happen. But until then, I'm gonna put all my energy to making it happen. And then I had a friend who asked me if I want to volunteer on this thing with Dr. Morris. And then while I do it, I'll get the certification, so I didn't have to pay for it. And it worked out because I
Wow.
put my heart and I trusted, and it was magical. And it was just another proof of like the power of manifestation and law of attraction.
Yeah.
Because I remember my mom being the voice of my mom being like you can't even afford it. How are you gonna do this? And I almost took on that energy. I was like, wait a minute. I decide my energy. Like I'm gonna stay that vibration of like I'm gonna make it happen. It's gonna work, and it freaking worked.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's amazing. It's amazing how that happens. Yeah, the power of manifestation. I've had that so many times in my life too. Even just the story I was saying about going down to Atlanta for that raw food chef course, and also just things where, you know, I've I've also either invested in myself on something. I purchased something that was more than I was kind of comfortable with, but then it's like then I like make a sale on something, and it just, you know, gives me, you know, that reassurance that, all right, well, you can always make more money, right? So put
yeah,
put the investment in that's going to bring you a lot of value in the future, and there's always the opportunity somewhere that you can bring in more money, and so that's how I try to look at it, is that you can always make
that's a
more
good
money.
perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um So obviously everybody's in their own situation, and it's but there is always an opportunity. Like there's always a way to find, or there's always a way to create an opportunity for bringing in more money. So regardless if you have a YouTube channel or an online business or whatever, like there's always something that you can find if you really look hard enough. So,
Hmm.
so yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting that you not only invested in the raw chef training, but you also forfeited the money you would have got from work in those weeks. But then look
Yep.
at where you are now. You have like books out there. You have all these recipes. You're teaching people how to make raw foods. So
Yeah.
like that was a huge foundation for your career now.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's yeah, it's not always easy to make those decisions in the moment, but when you got to look big picture a lot of times, right? Like if I was looking like very narrowly, it seemed like it was kind of impossible to do, like take 3 weeks off of work and fly down to Atlanta and invest all the money into that. Like it's like it was like a very difficult thing to make actually happen, but again, I knew in my soul that was something that could have like a really profound impact on my future, and so yeah, I just made it work.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yep,
Sometimes you gotta trust your heart.
exactly. Yep,
Hmm.
yep. Follow that intuition.
Hmm.
So Judith
That
says
that raw intuition.
that raw intuition. Judith says, love my Vitamix and have had it for over a decade as well. I use it every day and sometimes multiple times a day. Yeah. See, there are
Beautiful.
still, even though some companies are putting out products that destruct, in fewer years, there's still some good companies out there that are putting out good products.
Yeah, which are worth, back to Matt's point, investing in. You know,
Yes. Yep.
sometimes you gotta invest a little more, which could actually save you money in the long term because now you invested in a quality product that will endure, that will be sustainable for long term, as opposed to cheaping out, buying a crappy product, and then it breaking in a few months, and then you got to buy a new one.
Yep.
And you spend more money in the long run.
Yep. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's one of the questions I get a lot with the water distiller that I have, because the water distiller I have, it is a more expensive machine than some of the other ones that are on the market. But I've had so many people tell me that they wish they would have gotten the one I have, or just a higher quality model, because they get like a $100 one or even like a $75 one, and like 6 months to a year later, it's already like breaking. So um,
Oh, interesting. Because my distilled, I don't think it was that much. It was, I forget, somewhere between 100 and 200 euros.
okay.
And I'm here almost 4 years. It's still good. I use it every night, pretty
Nice.
much.
Okay. Well, there
I
you
didn't
go.
know there's like an even better. All I made sure was that the container was glass. I didn't want the plastic one. So
Right. Right.
that's the
Yep.
only thing. The rest looks the same to me, but I
Sure.
didn't know there's some next level distiller out
Oh
there.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe in 10 years from now, I'll be like, okay, you're still working. I just
Yep.
do five.
For sure. For sure. I'm kind of hardcore with the water distillers. Like I've got a countertop model, and then I've got an automatic model that hooks up to the water line, and so it just automatic. I don't have to refill it. It just fills
No
itself.
way.
Yeah, it just
Because
fills
there's
itself.
sometimes I'm like, I forgot to fill it overnight.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yep. And yeah, so it's a good investment for people that I mean, the automatic one is only for people that like own their home, or they live in like a house. Like if you live in an apartment, or if you're traveling a lot, you know, the countertop one's obviously going to be better for that. But the automatic one has been a game changer in terms of convenience, and just always having enough water, because it has a 5 gallon storage tank in it, and then we have like
Amazing.
10 gallon glass jugs that we fill up. So we've always got a bunch of water on hand in case, for whatever reason, maybe the power goes out or something. So we've got a good backup of enough water if we need it. So
Awesome. Cool.
yeah. Oh, we got Stacy here from the Urban Pharmacy. So what's up, Stacy? She said, "What's up,
What's up,
boys?"
Stacy?
She said what was going to say. Oh, was going to say the same thing about that raw intuition. Yeah, yeah. Follow the raw intuition. It's always a good answer. So yeah, Judith says prioritize yourself always. Mallory, what's up, Mallory? Good to see you. She said hello, awesome peeps. Hope everyone's having a great spring. Yeah, it has been a good spring here in Minnesota. Not
Nice.
nearly as cold as most winters or springs here. It's we haven't had snow on the ground for quite a while, so that's been nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Here I am thinking Mallorca's been a little cold, but I can't even relate to like near snow temperature.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just been like it was beach weather for like most of the start of April, and then
Wow.
now it's been like cooler, some rain. It doesn't usually rain much here, so it's interesting, but it does give that spring feeling, like renewal. Got to go through some of the rain so
Yep.
that the sun can shine again,
That's
so that
right.
everything can be green and luscious, you know.
Yep. All right. You want? I think
One
we're
thing I
on.
want to mention about
Yeah.
the raw intuition is that when I went raw, like more raw in my diet, my intuition increased so much.
Yeah.
It
Mine
helps
too.
so much to like you just like tap into yourself and you just make better decisions, you like flow better through life, and
Yep.
I think that's what intuition is about. Like you know what to do at the right at any given time.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
beautiful.
that's why I called my channel Raw Intuition, because yeah, it's same for me. It's just like you can finally you have that connection. Like the connection is always there a little bit, but it's so dampened and drowned out by the obstructions that the standard American diet puts in the body and
Yeah.
in your energy. And so yeah, once you get
Yeah, I
rid of a
remember
lot
I
of
was it was normal to just have like a clouded mind.
yeah,
I thought it was just how I was.
yep, I know. I
Imagine that
think
cloud just lifting and you can think clearly, and it's
yes,
amazing.
yeah, I think that's why so many people unfortunately make poor decisions for their lives, right? These like it's just like because they don't have that connection to their intuition, which I think is the voice of the soul, which the soul
Hmm.
I believe is our connection to God. And so essentially you're not able to really connect with the voice of your soul and what that connection you have with God and like kind of the purpose in your life, and so you're kind of just lost, and you don't know, like you can't pinpoint the right direction to go, and so people are just kind of like throwing darts blindfolded on like what they're gonna do with their lives. So
Yeah,
when
and even
I
if you have a feeling of like where to go, you get held back. You're scared,
yeah,
and you don't really have that clarity to like make that decision. You like feel it, like I should do this, but no, it's not for me.
yep,
Whereas when you're cleaned out and you're on raw foods and your intuition's higher, you're like, oh, this is for me, and you go that way. You just like there's nothing in the way. You're just like, all right, this is the path for me.
yeah, yeah, exactly. it's
And you
it's
also realize how much more is possible, and
yeah, your
like things
scope
you
of
thought are impossible.
awareness.
Like, oh, I could do that. I can go live in another part of the world if I want. Like, anything is possible.
Yeah, totally. I know it's just yeah, it's having the confidence to move in the direction that that you should go, where before like the fear and just like the cloudy mind prevented you from making those choices. And yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, you kind of have to feel it to really truly understand it,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
exactly. Which sounds like kind of like religion, and people are like, oh yeah, sure, whatever, you gotta feel it.
Yeah.
But then just try to go raw for 1 week and see what happens.
Yep. I know. Yeah, it only took so my I started off like on this 10-day juice fast, and that just in those 10 days I was like I knew right there, like the connection that I had formed just in those short few days, where I could
Mm.
finally like hear my true thoughts and like know kind of more of like what I truly wanted. It was amazing, and so that's how it got me on this path. And so yeah, it doesn't take long. You just gotta start
Mhm.
bringing in the fruits and vegetables and taking away some of the junk that most people are eating, and big changes can happen in a short amount of time.
Fact.
All right, you want to go on to your third one?
Oh yeah, sure. It's my room right here. Yeah, so my third one is bring value to life. Now this one is more with the business area of life, and it's to have some sort of a side hustle, some sort of a side project that you're passionate about, that you love. Because growing up in modern society, we go through school, we get trained to like join some sort of career, and a lot of times, even if we might be a little passionate about it, we get lost in the mundane 9 to 5 daily grind, and we lose the passion, and it just becomes a routine, and then your life is just kind of at this place, like a plateau place, and you're not really expanding, and you're not really going to your potential. But if you have something that you're working on the side, you're more in control of it, and you can build something that maybe it's not as much as your full-time job right now, but over time it can keep building, whereas your full-time job is plateauing, maybe like a little bit of raise. You can always advance in a career. I'm not saying you can't, but with your side hustle, you can grow that like much bigger to a point where that eventually becomes your full-time gig, and you can let go of like your 9 to 5 job or whatever else and really do what you love and what you're passionate about. And I just think it's really important. And it's also a way to do something that you actually care about, because your job, you might not care about it depending where you work. But so working on something that you care about, whether that becomes your full-time gig or just stays like a side hustle, it'll bring more satisfaction to your life, and it'll use other parts of your brain and bring you more like happiness, I think. So I think it's really important to have some sort of side project. And that could actually not even be a business, maybe just like some sort of passion that you do, some sort of hobby that you're really engaged in, but you're doing that regularly so that you bring more value to your life, more excitement to your life, more joy to your life, more purpose.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, even something like volunteering somewhere, right? Like it,
Mm-hmm.
it can be, and yeah, anything that I, I could not agree with that more. Um, because yeah, like if somebody doesn't like, if they're not truly passionate about what they do for a 9 to 5, and they don't have, if a lot of people, and this is what I did. So when I like 15 years ago, I would go to my job, work my 9 to 5, go home, watch some sports, have a pizza or something, watch sports, maybe play video games or something. And it was like there's nothing in that day that it was like I wasn't passionate about any of that stuff, right? And so if you go, you're
That's a super good example, man. You actually lived it.
yeah, I lived it. So without having that passion, you lose the just the excitement in life, right? It's just so like mundane, and just like you just go through the motions every day. And while there's times of enjoyment, like having fun and things, but overall, if yeah, I agree. If you're not doing something passionate, if you don't have like a side passion or hobby or business or anything like that, yeah, very very hard to have that real satisfaction with your life. I would say impossible, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah. I can't imagine like just working one job and coming home, watching TV, eating pizza or whatever, and just doing that every day. Like I can't imagine it.
Yeah.
Like I can't see that being fulfilling. I could see working a job that you like, but then in the evenings, like going to dance class or playing some sport, doing something different. I think that's just so important to enriching your life. And people who do that are much more happy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Love it. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Uh
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyone out there watching, what do you do on the side? Do you have a side hustle? Do you have a side passion, a side hobby? Let us know in
Yeah.
the comments.
Yeah, exactly. It's always fun. I think it's interesting to hear, what people's passions are, because I think it's you can make you can make so many when people start talking about what they're passionate about. You can make connections with people that you otherwise wouldn't have maybe connected with. So the more people actually share, because I feel like people don't really share
That's
what they're
true.
passionate about. But if you share what you're passionate about, that's why, like you said, when you're working on yourself and you're getting into like really honoring what you want to do and what you're passionate about, you attract the partner or other relationships in your life. So it's because you were able to get out there and share what you were passionate about, and that's what drew in those other people. So I think if more people talked about what they were passionate about, then there'd be more quality connections being made for sure.
That's so true. Like that feeling when you find out someone's into the same thing as you, and like, what? Oh my God, me
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
My God, we should do it sometime together.
yep. Extropian Transhuman says, forget jobs. Let's see. She says, it's important to do what you like, take care of yourself. Yeah, for sure. She said, I retired and work on building vegan databases all day, every day when I can, but mostly I take care of my parents, family, friends, and community. That's the purpose outside of jobs. So yeah, that goes perfect with the topic of today. So thank you for being out there doing that stuff. It's really important. Judith says my side hustle is listening to raw fooders. All right, that's my kind of side hustle. She said plus other things.
That
I love
sounds like
walking and exercising.
okay, okay. That sounds like Judith is on the path of watching, and next thing you know, she'll be creating content.
That's right. I hope so. I'll be the first to subscribe. So Judith, you'll let us know when you start that channel. All right, cool. Uh, anything else to add to that one, or?
No, I think that's good.
All right, all right,
I
cool.
think
I'll round us off here then. And you've already
yeah,
kind of touched on this part of mine. I just had down master the basics, right? Master the basics, and I kind of think of that as like sleep, stress, and exercise. Those are my big three in 21 day raw transformation program that I talk about. Sleep, stress, and exercise. If you can get those things honed in and consistent in your life at a high level, like a quality level where you're getting good sleep, you have good stress management, you're not like putting yourself in environments that are stressing you out constantly, and you exercise consistently, like Kuba was saying earlier, if you can get those three things down, I think the value that you're going to be able to, create in your life and the lives of others is going to be exponentially greater, because not only do all three of those things affect your mental and your cognitive function, it's going to affect your energy levels. It's going to affect just your overall creativity and well-being. So when you feel good, it's so much easier to serve others, to make good choices for yourself, to be creative and create projects and find your true passions and hobbies that are going to bring more of this value to your life. So sleep, stress, and exercise, really focus on those three things and getting those to a good place in your life. And I think that will truly help you build a good, solid foundation to help making your, creating more value in your life.
yeah. Sleep is what I'm working on now. That's a
Mm,
really
me too.
big focus of mine because I've been really bad at it.
Yeah, it
Been
makes a
really all
difference.
over the place. I got an Aura ring recently. Actually, Ted bought it for me, for some of us. He's like, I'm
Nice.
gonna buy you guys Aura because he really wants us as a team to level up in all areas of life because that makes business better too. So it's not just
Right.
business focused, it's like getting us to exercise and keep each other accountable, but also sleep. So he really wants us to hone in on the sleep. And the Aura ring is really cool because it tells you your sleep pattern. It tells you how well you slept, the quality of your sleep, your deep sleep, your REM sleep, sleep latency, like the time it takes you to fall asleep and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So it's so cool looking at the stats, and it motivates you to improve, you know. So that's something I'm
Yeah.
working on right now, and ah man, I just know like when you have a good night's rest, the next day is just so much better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
huge. Sleep, yeah, and that's so cool that Ted is focus like really putting emphasis on those things for you guys because it's yeah, I can say from personal experience that if you really want to be productive and sharp thinking and just like happy even you got to get those things down because neglecting sleep is one of the biggest mistakes I see people making. Um,
Mm.
and again, I know from personal experience when I don't sleep well, I'm not nearly as productive in my life. So yeah,
Mm.
and even outside of
That's a big
productivity,
one.
yeah, again, like long term health, right? Like I think we all are doing these healthy lifestyle habits and eating healthy because we want to be healthy long term, but if we're neglecting our sleep and some of these other things, but especially sleep, it's making it less likely that we're going to have the level of health that we want in our later years.
Yeah, I want to be 90 and playing soccer out on
Me
the
too.
field with the kids with no problem, you know.
Yeah, me too, me too. Oh yeah.
So one of the ones we didn't talk about much is the stress. So you mean like reducing stress in your life, right?
Yep.
What's some technique that you have to keep your stress at bay, keep it low?
Well, let's see. I think one thing, one easy thing that we can all do is find at least like, you know, 5 to 10 minutes minimum of silence in your day where you can just
Mm,
get rid of, because this is what I noticed, long ago, is that you wake up, most people wake up and they get on their phone right away and they're taking in, stimulation from their phone, and then maybe they turn on the TV and listen to the TV while they're getting ready for work, and then they get in their car and they're driving to work. They got the radio on, which is giving them external messaging. Then they get to work, and then they're getting messages from their work, from their boss, on what to do.
that's
And
true.
so
It's like nonstop.
yeah, and they get home. They drive home with the radio on. They eat with the TV on or with their phone playing a video, and then they go to bed. And so it's like, where in
Watch
your
some reels
day?
in bed.
Yes, exactly. So where in their day did they truly hear their own internal voice? Like it's so difficult without hearing that and giving yourself the attention that you deserve and that you need to make good decisions in your life. You have to have that little bit of silence at least, minimum 5 to 10 minutes. Just you can call it meditation. It doesn't have to be sitting in a lotus position or sitting cross-legged. You can be out walking. Go for a walk out in nature.
Mm.
Just some place where you're not taking in stimulation or you're not taking in other people's thoughts. You're not taking in anything but nature or whatever. But have time to clear your mind and to hear your internal voice. But also, besides that, just eating fruits and vegetables, eating more hydrating, juicy, fresh fruits and vegetables. That alone is going to help to bring down your stress levels because it's going to reduce inflammation in your body. It's going to help with your elimination and your bowel movements. It's going to help with your hydration levels. It's going to help with your antioxidant levels and reducing reactive oxygen species and all these things. So it's just fruits and vegetables. Spend some time in silence. Really analyze the environments that you put yourself in. So, are you you know, uh, in your home? I guess. Do you have a very calming, positive energy in your home? Like, do you have it set up? Is the feng shui good, or like do you have things set up in a way that brings you happiness, put some like nice pictures on the wall or some good messages. Like I like to put up like positive quotes and things in my room. So that
All right.
helps me, yeah, keeps me in that mindset. And other things like, even, do you have synthetic air fresheners pumping in toxic chemicals into your air that you're breathing every day that's affecting your mind and affecting your overall health? Um, are you in relation? Do you put yourself around people that stress you out or that are like antagonizing or that put you down or just make you feel less than you want to feel? Analyze your internal relationship with yourself, analyze your external relationships with other people, and figure out where you can make some changes that are going to help you feel more at peace, feel more productive, feel more empowered, feel more confident. Um, you know, that kind of thing. Those are some of the things that just popped in my mind.
Yeah, I love it. Beautiful. Yeah, my RTT therapist recommended I take a part of the day where she calls it sit and feel, just like a
Mm,
few minutes, and just observe like what does Kuba need in this moment? Like what do you need? Just like listening to that in silence. So I think that's so key. And then speaking of the sleep thing, with my accountability team with Mr. Vegan and some people, Mr. Vegan, Our World Art and Brianna. But my goals lately, this past few weeks, have been to wake up to get out of bed by 7, a certain amount of days of the week. So I'm starting to do that. I'm about halfway, like half the days, and those days are just so beautiful. And I get like this hour to myself in the morning, in silence, to journal, to meditate. And it's so beautiful. It's such a good way to start the day, as opposed to the chaotic example that you gave, where you get up, check your phone, put on the radio, put on the news, go straight to work, listening to the radio. It's like this is like it's just an hour in silence to myself. And it's just like such a good way to start the day. It just feels so much better. It feels like I have control of my life,
yeah.
because I know many other days it's like going straight to work, straight to a client meeting, straight to whatever I have to do at a certain time in the morning. And those days are like way more chaotic, and like the energy's not good. It's stressful because you leave the house in a haste sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So this new habit of like working on my sleep and waking up early, it's just such a game changer, and I'm excited to develop in that more and more,
Yeah, I know. Isn't
because it
it?
keeps the stress at bay.
Yeah, it does. When we start the day in a way, like how you start your day, like you were saying, it impacts everything. Like just how you feel, your energy levels the rest of the day, like just your outlook, just maybe even your willpower, or the decisions that you make. Like when you feel more empowered and like in control, it just makes such a big difference. I've noticed that too. So it's, yeah, I
Mhm.
think waking up early is a good thing, and having that routine,
Definitely.
right?
Yeah, so I'm
So,
working on making it a routine.
cool. Love it. Let's see. Carl says good advice. Thank you, Carl. Let's see here. Extropian Transhuman says, I agree not to overdo. I too have quotes in my room. Yeah, that's one of my favorite. I've done that for many years. I just put quotes up and uh, positive like posters and things. So let's
I'm taking
see.
note of that. That's a
Yeah,
really good idea.
it's
Just like
a good way to,
reminding yourself of like certain vibration, really.
yeah. Yep. Let's see. Extropian Transhuman says, I'm adding forest bathing to it now. It's a great practice, forest bathing. I love
Mm,
that.
that's super
Um,
healing.
yeah. Routines simplify life to let one experience it more. Definitely.
Hmm.
Love it. A lot of great stuff. A lot of great stuff. So thank you, Kuba. That was great. So that's our all three of our each of our points. So that was awesome. I hope everybody
That's
enjoyed
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
Before we get into a quick Q&A, can you just share one more time where, actually, I don't remember if did you share where people can find you? Where can people find you if they want to follow you?
No, you just told everyone that I'm known as Raw Kuba, which is how you can
Oh
find
yeah.
me on Instagram, RAWKUBA, on YouTube as well. My YouTube still pretty small. Uh, I I have some goals to put more love and grow that. But Instagram, I'm most active, but everywhere you can find me as Raw Kuba.
Cool. All right. And I do have that linked down in the description box. So anybody that wants to check out Kuba, which I highly recommend, use the links down below and that'll take you to all of his resources. All right. Well, time to
Yeah, you
answer.
got some free resources in there, like a free 3-day cleanse guide
Cool.
in my bio of my Instagram, or else a free guide on how to make money while you're traveling. So
Very
depending
nice.
on your goals, you could check those out.
Love it. All right. Well, we are now into the Q&A room here in front of the blackboard. Put your questions out there, guys. If you have any questions for either Kuba or myself on this topic, or I guess whatever you want. But let's see what you guys got for us. I haven't seen any. Usually there's some in here, but I think we kind of touched on some of them that came through as they were being asked. So
Okay.
so yeah, you guys put more in there if you have any questions for us. But I'll just start us off with a quick one. So Kuba, like, I know you've kind of so you got into the fruit based lifestyle, and now you've adjusted your diet a little bit here and there with like cooked food and things like I have as well. Could you just share with the
You eat
audience,
cooked
like?
food?
I do, yeah.
I'm just messing with you.
Yes, it does happen. So,
what
like
what would you
what?
like me to share?
Yeah, just like what's like a day in the life of Kuba as far as like how do you structure your diet?
Okay. You want the good, the bad, and the ugly?
Whichever way you want to take it.
All right. So, I still like to start my day with hydration as best as I can. But I've been really addicted to 100% coconut water, which is like this pasteurized coconut. Oh, I got it right here actually. That's what I was
Yeah,
drinking.
nice.
And sometimes I just chug this back in the morning. I always like to have a glass of distilled water and then this and or a juice, a green juice or
Mm,
an orange grapefruit juice or whatever. I like to keep it juicy, and then I try to get some sort of juicy fruit, whether that's a melon or grapes. And sometimes I'll skip the juicy fruit part and go straight into smoothies. I'm so dependent on smoothies.
me
It's
too.
just such a no-brainer. You just throw bananas and frozen berries in the blender, and then you can add whatever else you want.
Yeah.
Cinnamon, dates. Sometimes I'll put protein powder. I get a clean one. I've been getting into creatine. I'm testing that out to see how that goes.
Mm,
But yeah, just like smoothies for lunch, sometimes pre-dinner, and then for dinner I'll have. So one of my weaknesses is hummus
mm.
that I'll buy pre-made, so that's not raw. But it's just such a easy way to get some extra calories, and I eat so many vegetables thanks to it. Like sometimes I'll get guac, but I'm more into hummus, and I'll just like dip cucumbers, I'll dip peppers, I'll dip celery, broccoli, cauliflower, carrot, and just it's all raw with the hummus.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'll have like a nice salad. And so hummus is made with chickpeas, as you may know.
Hmm.
So chickpeas is like my biggest weakness. Or I
Mm.
don't know if it's a weakness. I'm gonna say it's my strength. My body
Yeah.
must want it for whatever reason. I've been loving chickpeas. So that's what the main cooked thing I'll have. I just put in a salad. So the salad will be just like greens, tomatoes, avocado, and chickpeas. Now, if I want to be fancy, like I had quinoa the other day. I barely make. I just decided to buy it the other day. I had potatoes recently, um, but on the daily, it's usually just like the chickpeas in my salad.
Mm.
That's the main cook thing.
Nice.
But so the good, the bad, the ugly. The ugly is that I've been drinking coffee,
Oh.
and that's not like a high vibrational thing for raw food is, but it's a little bit addicting, and I don't know something about it. So that's like my biggest weakness, and I can tell my adrenal glands don't like it, and it's
Mm.
not good for sleep either. So
Right.
I need to have some sort of a plan to have a relationship with it where I can have it socially and not need it regularly, you know?
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's sustainable because it really like uh makes your adrenals work hard to give you a false energy.
Right.
And then when you get addicted to it, it just becomes like this daily thing that you're used to. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
But then it doesn't really work. I think it's like a mental thing. Like, oh, coffee's giving me energy, but not really. It's like the fruits and vegetables are what's really giving me energy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's how
So
my days look. It's very simple. Like I always want to make recipes, and I never, barely ever do.
sure. I don't either, really.
Yeah, just throw stuff in a bowl. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
Exactly. Simplicity. Simplicity is the way to go. Well, cool.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
curious
no.
about yours, more or less.
Yeah.
How does
I
your
mean,
day look?
so mine is been very very consistent over the last I don't even know how decade at least. So
Nice.
I give just the basic outline of how I eat is SFS. So smoothie. I start every day off with a big massive smoothie, bunch of bananas, some berries,
Nice.
maybe some mango, and some greens. I like to put in greens and maybe celery, maybe a few chia seeds.
Yeah, greens in the smoothie is good too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So that's how I start off every day, almost religiously. Like I almost never don't have my smoothie for my first meal. And then for my
Beautiful.
second meal, for lunch, and it's actually kind of shifted into I have my smoothie, and then I have like my other fruit meal kind of closer to my. It's almost like one big meal, but typically it's my second meal is just a plate or a bowl of fruit. So sometimes it's a mono meal, other times it's a variety of fruits, but it's just as much fruit as I need to feel satisfied. And then for dinner, sometimes if I'm trying to like put on more muscle or something, and I want to put on or take in more calories, I'll have a smoothie, like a smaller smoothie before my big salad. So dinner is always my
Five-star salad.
5-star salad. Yeah, big
Yeah.
big massive salad with a bunch of colors in it and a homemade dressing. Um, and then if I want to have some, cooked food with it, it's always like instant pot. It's like a veggie soup with it. It's like maybe potatoes and carrots and onion. Um, Sometimes chickpeas, sometimes lentils or split peas or something. And then I'll
Yeah.
have that with it's like a side to my massive salad. So and yeah, that's how I eat for as long as I can even remember now. So it's been several years that way.
Even with the cook part.
Oh no, not the cook part. That's kind of it's actually been more consistent recently, like within the last like couple years maybe. Um, Maybe like yeah, I don't know if it's been several or multiple years, maybe like a year and a half or so. I don't know. But I've always kind of gone back and forth with having some cooked food. Like typically, I would say up until the last few years where I've really relaxed on the whole like raw, trying to be all raw. Um,
Mhm.
I've always been probably 95% raw, but over the last like couple years, I'm probably like not that much more, like 90-ish percent, like basically the only time I have cooked food, if I'm gonna have it, it's gonna be with my dinner salad. I can't
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
do cooked food early in the day. Like I've maybe tried that
Yeah,
once
me
or twice
neither.
here and there. It just feels awful to me. So
I could do it if I go to lunch with the buddy once in a blue moon,
yeah,
like maybe, and
sure.
that's usually probably like a bowl that's half raw and half cooked. Anyway.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird to have cooked food early in the day for
Yeah.
me.
Same. Yeah, it just feels weird.
It's just like it's dehydrating. It slows you down. Yeah, yeah,
Yep. Yep. So yeah, that's my dietary outline right there.
yeah. That's awesome. I think it's very high vibe, and if everyone ate like that, people would be much healthier.
Oh yeah.
Especially because you got that variety. The five-star salad, I really like that concept. You
Thank
have
you.
like different types of raw foods in one big bowl.
Yeah,
I think it's awesome. It's really good for the gut microbiome and makes us more robust.
for sure.
Super cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and the cook thing, like I think trying to be 100% raw and just for the sake of having that title is not always the healthiest. If you do it
Right.
naturally out of love, like sure, that's amazing. But if
Yeah.
you're doing it just and you're forcing yourself, then you maybe want some chickpeas or want some steamed veggies or something. It's like it's healthier to just enjoy that cooked part and not beat yourself up about it.
Yeah.
And I think it also is more relatable. Like most people are not trying to be fully raw.
Right.
Maybe they think they have to because of all the influences, but if we're just being real and like sharing our journey, people be like, okay, I don't have to be fully raw to be healthy. I gotta be fully healthy,
Yes.
you know?
Exactly. Exactly. And honestly, like over the years, of kind of seeing people like long termers, some that looked up, I still respect highly, but some that have passed away early, like I just started to realize that, well, I'm actually seeing more, and this isn't to like say that raw food is not, like optimal, but there's more whole food vegans, like whole food plant-based eaters, even people that aren't vegan but eat a lot of whole food most plant predominant. They almost outlive all the raw fooders that I've seen. So it's
Mm,
like, and even if the long-term raw fooders live the exact same, it really should, like, I when I was like early on in this, I was like, all right, the raw food people, 100% raw, like the people that have been, the strictest about being 100% raw for decades. Like I would expect to see them like just leaps and bounds, doing better vitality wise and health wise than just regular whole food plant based eaters that eat cooked and raw, right? But I didn't see that, so then I started to be like, well, it's
interesting.
it's not probably as important to be 100% raw, than it is to focus holistically on eating whole plant foods. I do think including mostly raw is a very important, and wise thing to do. But being 100% raw, I don't think, from at least from what I've witnessed, it just it lost kind of its magic to me, based on just the evidence that I've seen. I just haven't seen any evidence. If I can see more evidence
There's
on
a
it,
few people that really inspire me who are fully raw. Like fully raw Christina, I think,
sure,
has been doing it for so long and she's really healthy.
sure,
She's our age. But then there's someone like Luke Corona who really is a huge inspiration.
yeah,
But the thing is about like when I see Luke Corona doing it, he also has like access to the most amazing supplements that he's the owner of.
yep,
And that's pretty high vibe stuff. It gets your like your enzymes going and your digestion on point and everything.
yep,
And he makes these like powerful yogurts and like he does it in this really like powerful way. But it's natural. He's not forcing it. It's not a religion.
yeah,
He's just living naturally. He's not like I have to be 100% raw. He's just naturally eating raw foods. But he's
yep,
a very rare example. There's not many that are so inspiring as that. And even Dr. Morris is like he teaches us wisdom of raw foods, but I think he's teaching as a healing modality, but himself he's like he'll eat Indian food. He's not like he has to be fully raw. So he's like a real human
yeah,
too, you know?
yes,
So it's like I don't think we have to be fully raw, but we could be fully raw if it's natural, or maybe
yeah,
like for a period, and you just want to eat raw foods, like because you feel good and it's natural. And it's important to have variety, but not do it as a religion, like you have to, you know.
agreed. Yeah, totally, 100% agree. Um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, it's and oh yeah, I was gonna say, like, it does depend. I think, like, I don't know. I feel like if you're living mostly on temperate fruits, like
Yeah,
fruits
that's a
that
big
are
point, actually.
more, it's like, I think the easiest way to be able to be 100% would be when you do have access to more tropical fruits. Now, there is the argument that, and it is strange to me that a lot of people that do move to the tropics, um, with the intent of being 100% raw end up not, they like go the complete opposite direction. They like turn carnivore.
I've
Like,
seen that.
it's very
I've seen
weird.
that.
It's
Yeah,
very weird. I don't
it's
really
very
understand
weird.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if I had access to quality mangoes and papayas and, um mama sapote and, some of those more dense fruits, I think it'd be much easier. But,
Definitely.
in Minnesota where it's like, it's like cucumbers and bananas and apples and things, grapes.
Which is why we depend on smoothies.
Yes, so true. So it's much harder in my opinion to do it. And like I said, like just the evidence, like, and I agree fully, Rockstina. Yeah, it looks great. But I'm looking at more like the people, like I want to see who, like what raw foodists have lived over 100 years old, because like that's why I would, if I'm gonna be 100% raw, even though I do it for multiple reasons. Like I think it is, the lightest footprint, and I think, not anything to do with like carbon or anything, but I'm just saying like, um, I think it's the most cohesive with the environment, for the most part. I guess there could be arguments against that, but um, and also like energy levels. Obviously, the energy feels great when you're on a raw diet, um, but also it's just like I want to do it for longevity as well. And if the longevity aspect is the same or close to the same with like just a healthy whole food, mostly raw diet and other plant, cooked plant foods, then I'm personally not going to stress myself out about being 100% raw if the benefit really is, if there is one. I don't know. I'm not sure. So I don't know
Yeah,
which.
I think we're on the same page as that.
Yeah.
I think we're on the same page for that. But yeah, if I lived in the tropics, I would definitely feel like it would be easier to access abundance of quality fruits
Yeah.
that would make up the majority of my calories, and maybe it'd be easier to be raw. Even Lou Corona, who is raw in whatever environment he is, he
Hmm.
eats more nuts and seeds and coconuts and stuff.
Sure.
But he said if he was in the trop, because he's in, where is he? Arizona or something?
Okay. Yeah,
Those
I'm not.
ways,
I'm not even sure.
western. But yeah, he said if he was in the tropics, he would probably eat more fruits and stuff. So it depends, like where you are,
Gotcha.
how you eat.
Nice.
Yeah,
Cool. I like
yeah.
it.
I'm all about not being too hard on yourself and just like
Yeah.
being more gentle.
Yep.
Not, I'm
Agreed.
not about the isms and schisms as the Rastas would say, like being caught up in a dogma.
Yep. Same. Same here. All right. Cool. Good discussion.
So no questions came in.
Yeah, we got one from Carl. Carl says, I do intermittent fasting and I find it difficult to break my fast and get sunshine so often. Uh, oh, wait. And get sunshine, so I often don't have my first meal until 5 p.m. Probably really unhealthy. What do you
Wow.
think?
You want me to answer?
Oh, either way. Do you have any thoughts
I
about
don't know if it's unhealthy. I think it's if you label it as unhealthy, it's unhealthy.
it? Yeah,
If you label it as healthy, it could be healthy.
true.
Um, yeah, intermittent fasting. I was really big on breaking my fast as late as possible once upon a time in my journey, but nowadays it is natural for me. I notice to not eat until like hours have gone by, but I really want to get in the habit of eating earlier because I notice when I eat later breakfast, it makes lunch later and it makes dinner later, and then often I'm eating at night, and then doesn't um it doesn't help with my sleep quality. And then in the morning again, I don't feel like eating, and then I end up fasting a little longer. So I think I'm in that little bit of a vicious cycle myself, and I think it would be healthier to break my fast sooner in the day and end my eating window earlier in the night. So it's like maybe the intermittent fast part would be the same, but I'm working on changing it to have it a bigger gap in the evening, a smaller gap in the morning. I think that's
Mm,
better than having a huge gap in the day and then eating late at before bed.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm the same way. Like, I don't really feel that I'm not really hungry until at least a couple hours after I wake up.
Mhm.
So for what they say the research shows, in terms of like the best time to eat if you're intermittent fasting, they do say that if you can shift your eating window earlier in the day, that's better than eating later in the day. Because again, the later you eat, the closer you are to bedtime, and you don't want to be digesting food while you're trying to give your body that resting time to heal and all that stuff. Um, so yeah, I pretty much eat between usually like 11 o'clock is when I have my first meal or so, between 11 and 12, and then I try to be finished eating dinner by 6, but sometimes it goes like to 7. But yeah, I do my best to eat as far away from or as early in the afternoon as I can. So like if I could start at like 4 o'clock, I would do that. But
For
sometimes,
dinner.
yeah, for dinner.
I think that's a great plan, especially if you're getting all the calories you need and
Right.
you could fit it in that window, like 11, 12-ish to 6 p.m. That's great.
Yeah.
That's one of my goals too.
Cool.
Yeah, often I find myself, even when I try to eat early, it ends up being like 6 o'clock. I'm preparing, and then I sit
Uh
down,
huh.
it's like seven, or you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great plan. You got a great plan, I think.
Cool.
Yeah, me
Thank you.
too. I usually won't eat until 10:30, 11, or 12, and then have the rest of my calories. But then it gets prolonged, so I like how you
Mhm.
have that window down a bit. Just basically shorter gaps between your meals, I guess.
Right. Yep. Yep. Cool. All right. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Judith says, do you add greens to your fruit smoothies? So I do. Do you?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Not always. Sometimes I just feel like a fruity vibe, but I usually add at least a handful
Same.
to my fruit smoothies because usually it doesn't really affect the taste of the fruit, add some nutrition. And then
Yep.
I love making green smoothies with actually, you mentioned mango, pineapple. And then, can I swear on your channel? I know
Yeah.
I did once, but
Yeah.
a shit ton of green. Just
Nice.
like load up with greens and then put like soaked nuts and seeds and coconut flesh
Yeah.
or coconut nut or seed milk and some ginger. And that's like a really powerful, it gets like a Hulk green color,
Uh
like the
huh.
white from the milk, the plant milk, and then
Yep.
all the greens in there, and then the yellow from the mango and pineapple. Makes a
Yep.
beautiful color and it tastes so good. And the ginger gives it like a kick. You can add some hot pepper in there. Yeah,
For
I love
sure.
it.
Cool. She also says, wait, where did that go?
Never limit your greens, girls and boys.
That's right. I think that's good advice. Oh, Carl said, can you get 100% raw coconut water in Europe?
Yeah, definitely. So I used to get it in this one store. I haven't seen it in a while, but I hardly go there because it's farther away. But then if I go to one even farther away towards the city, there's always coconuts. So by 100% raw coconut water, I'm thinking like the actual coconut. So you can get that. It would just be like you have to carry these lots of coconuts. You have to mission for that, and it costs a lot more. So I just get this because it's so practical. Just get it from the grocery store that I frequent regularly. But yeah, you can get that. I don't know if you mean actually bottled raw coconut water. I've never seen that, but you can get coconuts with quality water, like quality coconuts. You can get those little brown ones that I don't know, they're like a hit or miss, but you can actually get these good big ones that are organic and they're like they come with like a little straw and a stick to poke through and they're designed to open easy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yep.
the meat is really thick. It's still like a circle. It's not like the young Thai one. I've seen that once in less than once in a blue moon, the young Thai ones in the Asian shop downtown, but they
Nice.
barely have it. So I sometimes miss that. There's a lot of abundance here in Spain and a lot of good quality fruits from like southern Spain that they bring here to the island, Mallorca. But in North America, you can kind of get everything.
Yeah.
I feel like from all over the world.
Right.
You can go to the Asian markets, and it's like easier. Here, the Asian market, like they have what they have, whereas in Toronto, it's like they have everything.
Hmm.
I feel.
Yeah, I've heard Toronto is incredible for having access to like pretty much anything.
Yeah,
It's cool.
yeah. I do miss that though. I do remember like in the local grocery store buying a cherimoya in Toronto for $5 for one cherimoya, but here I can get like five cherimoyas for €5, and they're like big, juicy, and nice.
Wow.
So there's like it depends. It depends.
Yeah. Cool. Let's see. There's a lot of conversation going on in the chat here. So that's awesome. Love to see that, you guys. But I'm I'm not seeing questions. It seems like everybody's just talking to each other. So
Oh, that's
um,
cool.
yeah. So let's see. I think let's see. It's 1 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock Eastern time right now. So we can cut it here. I appreciate all the time that you've spent with us, Kuba. I appreciate that, and everybody else for hanging around for the show. Great
It was my
questions,
pleasure.
everybody. Thank you.
I always get nervous before going on a show, and
Yeah,
then once I'm in the flow, it's just like so. It's always so cool.
yeah,
It was cool
agreed.
talking to you. I think we vibe on a lot of things.
Yeah,
We shared a lot of value, not just in our lives, but for the audience and for
yeah,
everyone watching and listening.
yep, agreed. Yeah, always love having you on. Um, let's see. There was so extropian transhuman last one here. This might just be a comment. I feel that we've degraded the land in the tropics with deforestation so much, especially in the Amazon, Argentina, Hawaii, that it's going to be extremely hard to find the raw foods of previous. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm sure it's true, but there's also people like Fully Christina's got land in Hawaii, and she's like growing these fruit trees and stuff. So I think when it comes to the future, we have a lot of influence on like creating the future.
Yeah,
So it is sad to see this deforestation and stuff like that, but we can always put out our energy to actually like plant more fruit trees and make the land more robust and sustainable.
yeah,
Easier said than done, but yeah, it's a tricky issue, I think.
yeah. Agreed. Yeah, like you said, I think there is a lot of conscious people out there that are helping to correct some of that. Hopefully, so there is definitely hope for the future. And I I don't know exactly what the condition is in terms of where they're growing tropical fruits. If that those areas are being deforested, because yeah, obviously they're deforesting a lot of those rainforests and tropical areas for grazing, growing, raising cattle and growing their feed and things like that. So hopefully, the more of us that start eating a whole food, plant based, raw vegan, or mostly raw vegan diet, we can shift the trend on that, and we can get back to having a lot more variety, or, regrowing the rainforest and all that sort of stuff. So yeah,
Yeah,
great.
speaking of that, we're doing really important work, Matt. I just realized like
Yeah,
what we're doing, being that example, people who are thriving on plants, like
yep,
I think it's so important because I'm a little sad in my heart that so many people go back to animal products and meat and stuff. And it's just like, why not give plants a try? Why not like just have a variety of plants? Why not eat the foods that the animals eat
yep,
that make them healthy? And why not just increase variety and use the sea vegetables and use the greens, use the vegetables, use the fruits,
yeah,
the nuts, the seeds, the roots, the herbs. Why not just like flood your body with all these plants?
yeah. I
But I don't know why eating animals is so popular. It's a weird concept, putting dead flesh. in the body, but
It is.
like when people like me and you, what we're doing, like what Ted's doing, what a lot of people are doing, it's
Yep.
very important work. So I think we have to keep doing that
Agreed.
for the future.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. Well said. Well
Mm.
said. It is a weird, very weird thing. Like the more I think about it, the weirder it seems. Like walking through the grocery
Yeah,
store, seeing the dead body parts, I'm like,
yeah, seeing
that's
that part is
weird.
just so weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
weird and sad. Very sad.
good
So,
stuff.
but yeah, again, great
It's a
stuff today.
disconnect. It's definitely a disconnect from
Yeah.
where that product came from.
Yep.
The process that it took to get to that grocery store, where it's just
Yep.
seen as a product. It's like that was an animal running around like not too
Yes.
long ago. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's why they keep slaughterhouses behind closed doors, right? That's why not many people, more people are learning about it today, but up until very recently, hardly anybody had exposure to that, and so it's a good thing that there's people out there like I like Joey Carbstrong. He puts out some good footage and like street interviews with people and things like that. So there's definitely people also out there that are trying to expose that and to help people make that connection a little more than what most people have, and hopefully that continues. And yeah, and I agree, we're doing important work, and that's why I also wanted to have you on here because you're a person out there that I respect and appreciate the work that you're doing. So hope everybody
yeah,
goes
you
and
as well, man.
follows you. Everybody go check the links in the description box for Kuba's links
We're
and check
we're
out
we're,
his content. Yeah, for sure. All right.
we're making plants cool. I just wanted to say
Exactly.
we got to make plants cool again.
Yes. Yep.
Like bros, guys sometimes
Yep.
joke about like, oh, you're having a salad. Like they'll say that's like effeminate or whatever. It's like, but if
Right.
we just own it, like, yeah, I'm having my man salad. We'll make that shit cool.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
cool.
those perceptions are starting to shift a little bit where, you can definitely have a manly salad. I think salad on its own is it's very manly. Like that's if anybody is a family show, but eating plants gives you, some added benefits with your circulation, if you know what I mean. So it's
Blood flowing to
yeah,
all the extremities of the
that's
body.
right. Yeah, all of them. So yeah,
100%.
for sure. All right, cool. Well, let's
Thank you so much, Matt. That was
my
awesome.
my pleasure. And sorry, before we log off quick, I'm just gonna do the quick scroll through to pick the winner. So I just kind of let my mouse choose through the chat who wins the free giveaway. And
Okay,
today,
awesome.
yeah, today it is Carl. Carl, thank you so much for your questions today and for being here. I know you might have all three of my books, Carl. If you do, still email me and I'll see what else I can get you. But then also reach out. Should Carl maybe DM you on Instagram? Would that work? Or is there an
Yeah, that works.
email? Okay. Yeah. So find Raw
DM on
Kuba.
Instagram is good.
Cool.
And then you can let me know, Carl, if you prefer a gift for online business and travel, or if you prefer a gift for raw fruits and vegetables and cleansing, basically.
Nice. Cool.
And I can give you a nice gift. Uh, I think I can give you a video course with some bunch of resources in it, some ebooks and stuff like that.
Very nice. All right. Well, thank you, Kuba. And thank you, Carl. And thank you, everybody else, for being here. It's always amazing to see you all, having fun in the chat and interacting with us. So thank you again. Join us. There's no game show this week again. Sorry, we didn't get a contestant. So please, if you want to be on the game show next week, I still need contestants for next week. Please let me know. DM me on Instagram if you want to be, or you can send me an email at matt@myrawintuition.com. And I would love to get a game show next week. It's been 2 weeks now that we haven't had a show. So, Kuba, you loved being on the show, right? It was good.
Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah.
Cool. See?
Yeah, I
So,
want to see that keep going.
yeah. Thank you. All right. Thank you again,
Yeah, that was
everybody.
really fun.
We
Thank you so
will,
much, Matt.
yes,
It was
thank
really cool
you.
hanging out with you and all
You,
the people in the audience. Thank you so much.
all right.
Yeah,
Until next
much
week,
love.
guys, always follow your raw intuition.